Hey everybody. Hey, welcome to Live at 5 with SFC Defined. So glad you could join me on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening or afternoon. I am excited about today. We're starting a new series today called You First. And we're going to get into that. But before we do, I want to make sure that you like and follow this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as to us. Please do that for me. We're trying to build our followers and make sure that we give you all the information that you need that can help you help us and help each other. So I'm excited about it. I always go to the store. We got some stuff. We got some little prizes and different things. A lot of stuff put on sale just so that you'll know what's going on. And you get that. We're trying to build an email list. So if you're not on our email list, do that. Just like and subscribe and we'll be good. But again, thank you so much. We finished up a wonderful series last month. I think it was a really, really good series. You guys gave me some wonderful input, insight, and helped me sort of rethink some things. But I think this series that we're starting today is very much in line with what we talked about last month. So let's get into it. The title of the series this month is going to be You First, and I know we need to figure out. You're trying to figure out where I'm going with this, and it's cool. Oftentimes, so many of us are not satisfied with where we are in life. We're not satisfied with our environment, our surroundings, our life or lifestyle, and we want to change, but we look for that change to take place in other people. We think that if we get this person in our lives or get this person out of our lives, that life will be better. We think that if I can get this job, making this amount of money, working for this company, life will get better for me. And, that really means that you're putting your life in the hands of other people and other circumstances. And I really believe with everything that's in me that that is the wrong way of going about change. Um, what I've come to learn over the years, especially in the last probably 4 or 5 years, that any change that I wanted to occur in my life, it had to begin with me. And that's why we dubbed this or entitled this month's series You First, because any type of change, whether it's relationship change, whether it's health or physical change, whether it's financial change, career change, whatever the case may be, anytime that you want anything about you to change, the change has to begin with you. And it starts with you developing or shifting your mindset. It starts with you coming up with new thoughts, new ideas, new creations in your mind to help you get out of the same old pattern. We feel like we get stuck. We feel like we become stagnant. We feel like that we're in a rut. And we fail to realize that we have the ability. I was just watching TikTok a few minutes ago, and a TikTok came across my whatever it is, whatever you call it, but it said every day we wake up with two things. We wake up with a chance and with a choice, and you have to choose the right things in life. And having the right mindset is what compels you or it drives you to making those right choices. Hey, Denise, thank you for joining me. Guys, it is so imperative. I mean, we look for so many extraneous variables to help create the life that we want, and it will never happen. Your life will never change as long as you are looking for other circumstances or other people to change your life. It will never happen. Anything that changes in your life, and I'm talking about anything, it has to first be changed in you. You first. Once you start developing those new thoughts and new ideas, what you think about, you attract. What you think about and give your energy to is what comes into your life. So say, for example, that you really don't like your job anymore. You really don't like where you are as a profession or as a career. And you spend all your days just complaining about it, complaining about it, complaining about it. Well, the best way to go about that change and making that change occur is to start thinking, where is it that you want to go? What job is your ideal job? Where do you want to be? What is your salary that you feel like is going to? You start living it and feeling it with everything that's in you. You start thinking about it all the time, understand where you are is merely a stepping stone, and you start thinking about this as opposed to spending all of your energy complaining about where you are. Use some of the energy and think about where you're wanting to go. And it means that as you create those thoughts, you create those new ideas, then everything will start happening. Before it can come to you, it has to come through you. And I think that that is something that we are never taught. We're never taught. I'm like, why did I have to wait till I get as old as I am to start feeling this and understanding this simple, simple, simple concept? You know, we all go through life looking for other people to either validate us, to help change us, to help give us what we need, what we want. And that's not the case. That's so not the case. That is not the case. You do not need anybody to validate you. You do not need anybody to help transform you. You have the power and the wherewithal to do it. Hey, Mary, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you guys for listening and watching. I want you to chime in. Tell me your thoughts on what I've said so far. I need to understand, or I need to make sure that you're understanding what I'm talking about. Because, you know, it's easier to blame somebody else for where we are. It is easier to blame something else for where we are, circumstance or situation. It's so much easier to do that than it is than it is to take accountability for our own self. You know, if where you are in life is sub satisfaction to you, then you've got the power to change it. The way you do it is it's got to happen on the inside first. You change your thoughts. You know, I think it was Einstein who defined what is the word I'm looking for, when he said to do the same thing, over and over and expect to get something different. There's a word that just,
Insanity.
Insanity. Yes, insanity is thinking that you can get different results by doing the exact same thing. That is insane. That is so real. It is so accurate, because so many of us, we wake up every day with the same complaints. We wake up with the same thoughts and ideas, but then we expect to get something different. It does not work. It does not work. If Einstein was your therapist, then he would call you insane. If he was your counselor, he would call you insane. So many of us live our lives in an insanity state or an insane state, that it has become our normal, that we don't realize that we have the ability to change our circumstances, to change our life, change our finances, our careers. But it has to start within us first. It has to start. Nothing happens on the outside of you until it happens first on the inside of you. Catherine says, I was curious as to how are you inspired when you are busy inspiring others every day? If that's a personal question for me, or if that's a generalized question for me, I can answer it personally. That's how I get my inspiration, is by inspiring others. You know, I've learned a long time ago, a lot of times when people come into my path that I am supposed to inspire or encourage, they brought to me because I can totally relate to where they are. And as a result, as I am inspiring or encouraging or motivating them, I myself is getting motivated. Yes, Denise says, your mind is powerful. And it is absolutely, that is, you have so much power in your thinking. We can change the world. Literally, we can change the world with the power of thought. The power of thought. Your thoughts are so powerful that if you use them correctly and use them to your benefit, your whole entire life changes. Stop blaming other people. That's the easy way out. Look retrospectively within you and start pulling things out of you that hinders you, that gives you excuses, that makes you feel like a failure, and start replacing them with things that will inspire you to move forward, to get something different out of life than what you have. Benny, hey, Benny, it says, all I have to comment is that this hit to the core of where I am at this very moment, the desire of career transition. If I'm hearing correctly, I need to put my energy in leveraging my skills, desires of what I want at the next step. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you start complaining a lot about where you are, those complaints, that negative energy is what cancels out the positive energy, and you need that positive energy to kick in to keep you motivated for moving forward. So all of your energy, all of that energy that you use to, I hate my job, I hate my career, I want to do something different, I need to do something different, it should compel you. Your negative energy instead starts to weigh you down. But when you can turn that thing around and say, you know what, I think this stage of my life is coming to a close. I think this chapter in my life is coming to an end. I'm putting the last few paragraphs in it right now. I can feel it. First of all, you got to realize, if there is a desire in you to do anything differently, chances are that's your intuition saying to you, I'm ready for more. There's more out there for you. There are other people that you need to impact. There are other people that you need to inspire. I have more for you. Now, you can focus on that and put things into proper perspective through thought to find out what those things are, or you can simply stay where you are and spend years and months complaining about your present situation. One of the things that I have in the last few weeks have come to realize is that everything about this universe, including us, is transitory. It is constantly changing. It's constantly moving. And the reason why we get stuck in feelings and emotions, in careers, in relationships, is because we fail to move as the universe moves. Every problem that you've ever encountered, every situation that you've ever had to deal with, and I'm talking about situations that are both good and bad, one thing that they all have in common is they come and they go. They come and they go. Nothing lasts forever. And when we can learn how to appreciate the moment, while at the same time understanding that moment is going to eventually pass. And when it passes, I have two choices. Either I can try to hold on to the moment, when in reality that moment is gone, or I can go with it. Okay, I can learn from it, because every moment has a lesson that we can learn from. It teaches you something. So you get to hold on to a moment that stopped holding on to you a long time ago, or you get to transition with that moment and you get to figure out what the next moment is going to teach you. That's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of living. Nothing in life is stagnant. We make it stagnant because we fail to hold on to stuff. We want to hold on to stuff that's let us go a long time ago. If you let it go as quickly as it lets you go, then you're able to move on and keep progressing and moving forward in life. Thanks, Benny. I'm glad it was helpful. It's about applying the principles you presented. Absolutely. It's simply about understanding that life is evolution. If you don't want to evolve, then keep having the same thoughts, keep doing the exact same thing. But if you want to evolve as life, your journey of life evolves, then be flexible. Go with it. Yes, it was a bad day today. Yes, it was. I had something happen. I called somebody the other last Monday. Last Monday, I called somebody, And when they answered the phone, they answered it with such a negative attitude that it immediately pissed me off. Like immediately, like I really did not. So they immediately like, well, I got something to do, and we hung up the phone. For days, I let that bother me. I held on to that 10-second phone call. I held on to it. And every time I would think about it, it would frustrate me. It would make me angry. 10 seconds, like literally 10 seconds. And I let 10 seconds take 72 hours to go by. 10 seconds. I let it because I would not let go of a moment that had let go of me on Monday. And on Thursday, I was still pissed about it. So, and that's how we do so many things. I mean, and I had to realize, you know what? It ain't worth it. It's over. It's done with. Why am I still holding on to something that let me go on Monday? And here it is Thursday. So we do that all the time. So in order for there to be a change in anything that you want out of life, the change has to start in you. It ain't about whether or not somebody comes into your life or goes. It's not about whether or not you have the opportunity. You create an opportunity by first thinking that the opportunity is going to come. That's your job. That's your only job. You start here with your positive mindset. Every opportunity, the right people, the right circumstances, the right situations, they're going to come into your life, and you don't have to work for them. I saw something some time ago. It said this: I don't chase, I attract. All that belongs to me will come to me without delay. How powerful is that? You can call it an affirmation. You can call it whatever you want to, a mantra. You can call it whatever you want to. But think about that. I don't chase after anything. You don't have to chase after anything. You simply think it, and what is yours will come to you. Job, relationship, finances, everything. It literally will come to you. It's that simple. I have done it. I don't know how many times I've done it. And in the last few weeks, in the last few months, I have literally seen things happen that has blown my mind just because I would think about it. And as I thought about it, as my power of thought became intensified, it immediately began to happen. It made so much difference in my life just by changing the way that I think. Mary says, let go and let God. Absolutely. Denise says, sometimes things are easier said than done. Absolutely. Is there a process or steps to take in the transition period of change? Yes. And you're right. Things are easier said than done more times than not, Denise. But one of the things that I had to do is I had to start becoming aware of my thoughts. And what I mean by that is whenever I started having negative thoughts, I would immediately started trying to replace them with something good. I would think like if I don't know. I can't come up with a personal example right now. But whenever I was like, I'll give you one. Like there are days when I would wake up and like I really didn't want to work out, and like I'm like I could come up with so many excuses right now for not working out. But then every time that there would be a thought in my mind as to why I shouldn't work out, I would immediately replace it with one that's good. You know, working out always makes me feel better for the whole day. Working out always makes me feel better. I feel better in my clothes. So I would start replacing those negative thoughts. Before I could replace, I had to make sure that I was aware of those negative thoughts that I had. And I think that when you start becoming conscious of your thoughts, I read something in a book the other day that said we need to be a third party with the conversations that go on in our head, meaning that we need to step back and just be an observer of all the thoughts that go on in our head every day. So I tried that. And I've learned that all those conversations, you won't ever have this, this didn't work out, chances are the next thing won't work out. And so in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, who is that doing the talking? Certainly I love myself more than to me to try to sabotage myself. So I had to become an observer of my thoughts, Denise, and I had to become. So I think step number one, if I had to put it in a step by step sequence, it would literally be to just start thinking about what you think about. If that makes sense, I think that's the simplest I can do it. Step number one is think about what you're thinking about. When you catch yourself talking negative to yourself, when you catch yourself talking negative to yourself, immediately stop it and then go into something positive. And if it's hard for you to think positive thoughts, get up and start doing something. Just try to get it out of your head and don't buy into it and don't feed into it. So that's step number one. And then as you do step number one, then everything else is just going to come naturally. Everything else will just come better for you, because once you get um, the into the habit, once you get into the habit of creating those positive thoughts, once you get into the habit of creating and replacing those negative thoughts with positive thoughts, then you will see that it becomes so much easier for you to just think positive, period. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope that helps. You have to let me know, and we can come up. Like I need y'all, because you're going to see. I promise you. If I'm going to challenge you for this week, that the first step, if you just start thinking about what you think about, and start thinking, do you know that you there's so many negative thoughts that run through your mind every day? Like some of you wake up with a negative thought. Man, I don't want to go to work. I hate my job. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go. I don't. Negative thoughts. Negative thoughts. Man, I don't feel like getting out of the bed today. I don't feel like. Can you start thinking about that this week and start trying to replace it? The fact is, you hate to get out of the bed, but there's somebody that couldn't get out of the bed and really wanted to. So you have to replace it. You hate going to this job, but this job is what pays your bills and give you the lifestyle that you want for the moment. This job, somebody don't have a job. Somebody don't have the qualifications to make the salary that you're making. So it's about replacing it with positivity and positive thoughts. And once you turn that into a habit, then you get to start thinking positive all the time. And as a result of thinking positive, you get to create the life that you want. Can I encourage you to think big? Don't be mediocre with your thinking. Think big, broaden your mind. I really believe there's a scripture in the Bible. You've heard about it. Donald Lawrence made it super famous when he's, the prayer of Jabez. There was a book out, and Jabez says, enlarge my territory. I pray for increase. I really think that that is a metaphysical statement. It wasn't just land that he was talking about or riches or whatever. I really believe that when he told God to enlarge his territory, he was like, make my thinking big. I need increase. I need for my mind to expand to where I see my lifestyle going. You cannot expect big things and have small thoughts. Keep that in mind. Let me go. Candy says, great information, definitely helpful. Thank you so much. Benny says, step number one helped me get through anxiety issues in the past. It helped me not create false scenarios and situations in my mind before even going through something I had to face. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's called fear, Benny. It's called fear. Stephanie, when you learn how to control what you're thinking and stuff, it gets rid of all of that fear and anxiety. I'm gonna see if I can find a quote. I had it on my phone because when I tell you it did something to me, it was a quote about fear. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Fear is always about what may happen or may not happen. It's never about what is. Okay. So think about how many thoughts of ours are driven off of fear, what may happen or may not happen. Fear can't hang out in what is, it hangs out in what may happen or may not happen. Think about that. Chew on that for a week. Okay. Think about that, because we get so caught up and we become so anxious and we become so frightened and tensed and tight and stressed over what is, or what may happen or what may not happen, that we miss the moment of teaching that's right in front of us. We miss it. We miss the moment of teaching and lesson that has been put right in front of us. And we need to make sure that we get everything that God is trying to get us. So again, getting back to that prayer of Jabez, I really believe that it was metaphysical. I really think that Jabez really was saying, God, I need bigger thoughts. I need for my mind to be expanded. So I think that that is something that I'm going to challenge you to do this week. I need you to pray big. I need you to think big, be big, and be intentional with your thoughts. Don't ever discount your ability to be, to do, or to have anything that you want. You've got it. You just got to let it happen in you first. All right. That's it for the day. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for talking with me today. For those of you who chimed in, I certainly do appreciate you. And then for those of you who were just merely present, I appreciate you just the same. Thank you so much. Until next week, always remember, be strong, be focused, be confident, be defined. We'll talk soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Share this video with somebody. If you were blessed by it, if it helped you, it will certainly help somebody else who knows you. All right. Have a good one. Till next Sunday. Bye.